Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back again for another Marvel comic review, and for this Marvel comic review I'll be covering Hickman's Ultimate Spider-Man issue 1, and as you can see here I actually have the Stegman variant. And moving into first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? Sure enough it does, even though we don't get to see this exact picture. We do actually get to meet the people who are actually in this picture. So starting from the top, we have Mary Jane. Next we have Peter, or Peter Parker. Next to him is Richard Parker, so his son. And last but not least, we have May Parker. For the overall cover rating for this, I give a 7.5 out of 10. So jumping into the next thing, and that is moving into the internal art and also what's happening story-wise around the beginning, middle, and of course the end. So this is some of the art around the beginning of the story, and this is where we begin to meet up with Peter Parker, and we also get to catch up with his offspring. So we get to meet Richard, so we know that he's the eldest. So we've got the oldest boy and the youngest child being May Parker. And in this universe, we don't have the character of Aunt May. She is long gone and dead. As we start to jump towards the middle of the story, we end up meeting the new Green Goblin of this universe. We don't exactly know who it is right now, but we do get some really nice scenes here with both Ben Parker and also J. Jonah Jameson, which is actually seen throughout quite a bit within the story. And last but not least, we move into some of the events that some other events that take place within the story, to which we have Tony Stark speaking to Peter Parker in this present time, and he has also received a certain gift. Now we learn that this ball that was seen at the beginning, he told one of his kids not to play with it, especially May, and we learn that there's a important thing in there, being the spider, which will play a part in him becoming Spider-Man in the next issue. So for the internal art, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. I didn't mind it. Next is the area of the story. So first things first, what did it address time-wise? Now we know that this is taking place in January, the same month that this is also being released. So really nice and cleverly done there in relation to this. Next we have later being used, and last night also being used, and that links to the scene that we got to see later on with Peter Parker talking or hearing from the hologram of Tony Stark. And now to which we get to see what's happening the next day with Peter Parker in his own suit. So jumping into the next thing, and that is the area of location, to which we see the Daily Bugle, of course the Peter Parker household, which I didn't quite record down, but maybe I should have. We also had the bar with no name, the cast of characters being the next thing, being Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, or Spider-Man later on. We had Tony Stark, Iron Man, of course, connected to it, but that's sort of like seen at the beginning with the written information whilst moving into the comic. We had Richard Parker, the son, May Parker, the daughter. We had, of course, the mum, Mary Jane. We end up encountering Betty in the office, J. Jonah Jameson, also in the office of the Daily Bugle, and Ben Parker. And it was really surprising to see like two older male characters in a way sort of like working together within the story. Um, I must admit, it's very much a bit of a rarity within some comic books these days. And I sort of get the idea, I might be incorrect on this, that Ben Parker is practically going to be maybe close to an Alfred to a Peter Parker. Just saying. If not him, it might be J. Jonah Jameson. Just because of one thing that he did in The Office. And Peter Parker doesn't like wearing ties. Very nicely done. Of course, we had Fisk make an appearance. And last but not least, we had the Green Goblin. For the overall story rating in this, I give a 7.5 out of 10. Whether I do choose to pick up the next issue, depending on the situation and what's happening here at home, I'll see what I can do. If not, well, this might be the first and also last review in regards to the Ultimate Spider-Man. Until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.